Hello everyone! I appreciate you joining me for this presentation. My name is James. I work as an ISO consultant with Sterling International Consulting. I am glad to present our globally practiced and successfully applied implementation methodology for ISO implementation, certification, and maintenance. During our presentation today, I intend to cover the following points. I will start with a brief introduction of our organization and what makes us #1 ISO consulting and certification service provider in the Philippines. Then I will talk about the integrated management system if you are looking for more than one standard, and why an IMS makes a perfect business case when implementing multiple standards together. I will spend my maximum time in discussing various steps involved in the implementation of ISO standards for your organization. I will close this meeting by discussing the way further from here on. We are one of the largest ISO certification consulting service providers in the world. Globally, we have customers in more than 50+ countries. We are proud and equally delighted to have 7,500+ successfully completed projects, including consulting, training, and certification assistance. We are a 100% ISO-related service-focused organization and provide consulting, training, implementation, documentation, and certification services for various kinds of ISO standards, including the common ones like ISO 9001, Quality, ISO 14001, Environment, ISO 45001, Occupational Health and Safety, to the specialized ones like ISO 17025, Lab Accreditation, ISO 20001, Information Security, to ISO 22000, Food Safety, etc. Our office is in Makati, and in the Philippines, we have been working some of the well-known companies in the field of food products, manufacturing, cosmetics, construction, solar energy, advertisement, retail, oil and gas, software, IT, logistics, services, etc. We provide services across all the provinces of the Philippines. We make sure that with us, you don't just get ISO certificate, but a robust foundation to help your organization enhance productivity, performance, processes, and profitability. As part of our consulting project, you get free access to our world-renowned ISO software, MyEasyISO. This software helps you automate your entire compliance to save time, money, resources, and make the implementation paperless. We are the only company in the whole world that has this kind of software, and you get a complimentary subscription to it. When you want to implement more than one ISO standards, it makes sense to go for an integrated approach. Using this approach, you can save time and efforts required. You will have a coherent and unified approach to address requirements of multiple ISO standards at the same time. This results into a single set of documentation, policies, procedures, and related processes. This also ensures you have a single audit and a unified system. This means with less efforts and in less time, you can achieve more. As you see on the screen, you can virtually integrate any number of ISO standards. However, the most common integration is for QHSE, Quality, Occupational Health and Safety, Environment Management System, Food Safety Standards, ISO 9001, ISO 45001, ISO 14001, and ISO 22000. But you are free to integrate any other ISO standards as per your business needs. As I mentioned earlier, using an integrated management system, you can make your ISO implementation simple and user-friendly. Organizations save time, effort, and find it easy as compared to implementing them as separate management systems one after the other. You avoid duplication of work and creating similar documents again and again. There are so many common requirements in various ISO standards like internal audits, risk management, document control, training, policy and objectives, nonconformity, etc. Using an IMS, you do them only once, and it can be used for all other standards under consideration. Indeed, a smart move. Let me now focus on what I propose for your company. I have identified a 10-step process for ISO certification for your company. Our implementation approach covers everything you need to implement a world-class management system and get successfully ISO certified. from awareness training to gap assessment to documentation to audit and ongoing support. On the screen, you see all the 10 steps. In the next slides, I will discuss each of the steps in detail and our deliverables during each step so that you can understand clearly what to expect during each phase of the project. However, one thing is very clear. We work with you as a partner and not just a consultant. We want to ensure each step is executed to your satisfaction and expectations. The first step in the project is awareness training. We need to make sure employees of your organization understand the concept of ISO standards and what are the high-level, macro-level requirements. I'm sure you will agree with me, this is a very critical step, as employees need to be informed and communicated about the benefits, about the standard, and their role. We discuss major requirements of the standards, important information about the project they must be aware about, what is their role during the project, what to expect and what not to expect. If required, we conduct separate training for top management and senior middle management in case of larger companies. The objective is to make sure everybody comes on the same platform of fundamental understanding about the particular ISO standard implemented by your company. This is because some employees may already have some knowledge on ISO standards, while some may be totally new. This training will ensure employees are aware, motivated, and empowered to contribute effectively in the implementation that is to follow. The second and most important stage of the entire project is business process review. Success of your entire ISO certification project depends on how effectively and comprehensively the gap assessment is carried out. In this exercise, we understand your business detail. We understand what you do, how you do it, and currently to what extent you meet various requirements of the ISO standard. We discuss one-on-one with various department representatives about their activities, processes, documentation they have right now, etc. End of this phase, we generate a formal gap analysis report. This report identifies in black and white your current level of compliance and what additional efforts are required to achieve the required level of compliance with ISO standards. Once gaps in your current operations are identified, we help you finalize critical processes from each department. Identification and finalization of processes is important because these critical processes must be planted, executed, and monitored in a controlled manner, as they have a direct impact on customer satisfaction, product service quality, and risks for the organization. Once processes are identified, we help you describe the processes to cover various elements of the process, like process input, procedure, process output, process KPI, process risks, etc. After process identification, we start working on documentation. Each gap that we have identified in the gap analysis phase, we intend to address them through documentation. We help you prepare various policies, procedures, manuals, templates, forms, checklists, etc. as per requirements of your company and outcome of the gap assessment. However, I want to emphasize that we don't want to complicate ISO implementation for your organization with excessive documentation and unnecessary processes. We will try to utilize your existing documentation to the maximum extent possible, and whatever is missing, partially missing, will be added. This ensures that we build on your existing system rather than changing everything, which makes no business sense. For an example, one of the requirements applicable to your organization is, say, for an example, customer feedback collection and satisfaction analysis. If during gap analysis we find this is missing, we help you create a customer feedback form. Like this, all the missing gaps are converted into appropriate documentation. As I mentioned, you can also use My Easy ISO software if you want to go paperless. You have a choice to go with traditional documentation approach or with My Easy ISO. As per your decision, we help you complete documentation. The next phase is the implementation phase. In this phase, all the documentation we developed in the earlier phase will go live, which means your employees will start using them and start collecting data. All the procedures and SOPs developed will be followed. All the forms, templates will be used to generate relevant records. If required, we also train your employees on the newly developed documentation system. As being a new system, they may have questions and concerns. We help them understand it completely so that they can implement them effectively and efficiently. Implementation is important because during the ISO certification audit, the certification auditor will like to see the system in action and not just blank documents, templates, but data into them. Once implementation starts, you need to start preparing your team for internal audit. Internal audit is one of the critical functions of the overall ISO implementation. As the name suggests, internal audit is an audit done by employees internal to an organization. If required, you can outsource this internal audit function to us also. The certification body will come once a year for assessment, but in between these 365 days, there may be many chances that your system may derail, or some of the compliances may not be effectively maintained. Internal audits are to be done regularly. You can decide the frequency. However, it can be done 2 to 3 times a year as practiced by other organizations normally. From my experience of working with so many companies, I can tell you confidently that internal audits, if done with seriousness and conducted comprehensively, can do wonders for an organization. The objective is to identify any improvement opportunities in your ISO system and achieve a greater level of compliance and process maturity. We can train your employees as internal auditors if required, and then be with them when they do their first internal audit. As part of our proposal to you, we will do your first internal audit. We will also help your team to prepare audit reports and then provide required assistance to close the findings to the internal audit. Management review is one of the events where top management and various department heads will review the status of the ISO system. They discuss various activities done so far and determine to what extent they are effective. We help you conduct the first management review, if required, by helping you with an agenda of the meeting and development of minutes of the meeting and action plan. Management review, like internal audit, is to be done at a regular interval. You can decide the frequency. The penultimate stage in your ISO certification project is a pre-assessment audit. We offer a free pre-assessment audit to your company as part of our proposal to you. This is a kind of pre-certification audit to evaluate the completeness of your ISO implementation. This audit is to identify your readiness for the final certification audit. Basically, pre-assessment audits serves 2 purposes. Number 1, it gives confidence to us as a consulting company about the maturity of your ISO system implementation, and any improvement if required. Number 2, it gives a rehearsal to your team in terms of what to expect during the actual ISO certification audit. We carry out pre-assessment as if it's an actual certification audit. Our audits are a replica of the final certification audits, and sometimes more strict and comprehensive than the actual certification audit. This is because we want to ensure you pass without any issues in the final certification audit. After pre-assessment audit, if there are any observations, we go back to the respective teams and help them close audit observations and ensure they are effective. Once we are confident about your system maturity, we give you a go-ahead and a green signal. We say from our side it is all okay. Now it's the time to call the certification body and schedule the final assessment. If required, we can coordinate on your behalf with the certification body. In the final phase of your ISO certification project, the certification body will get selected. We help you select and finalize the certification body if your organization requires. The certification body will send their auditor to your office or factory or work location as per a predetermined schedule. They will do a comprehensive assessment, and upon their review, they will certify your company as an ISO certified company. We provide all the required assistance during the audit to ensure it is a smooth and result-oriented event. If after audit there are some observations from the auditor, we help you close them. It is our responsibility and an important part of our project deliverable to ensure you get ISO certified successfully. We have a track record of 100% successful ISO certification for all our clients, and you will be one of them. Once you are certified, you need to work hard to retain and maintain your ISO certified status. Any ISO certificate is valid for 3 years, provided you do an annual surveillance audit. There will be 2 surveillance audits, and then you will go for pre-certification again. We provide additional consulting services if required by your organization during the surveillance audits to ensure your surveillance audits are effective and hassle-free. It can include retraining, document review, internal audit before surveillance audit, assistance in new processes, or training new employees, etc. As you might have noticed, we work hard and work with you to implement a robust and result-oriented ISO system in your organization. For us, our success is your success, and we work hard, very hard, and sincerely to help make you succeed. To conclude my presentation, I can say that we need an active involvement from everybody from your organization for success of this project. We ensure you achieve a sustainable competitive advantage through the complementary use of our globally acclaimed product, MyEasy ISO. We will make your entire ISO project simple, easy, quick, employee-friendly, and value-adding. Once you send us your acceptance of our quotation proposal, we will prepare a detailed project plan for you, and we can initiate your project. We monitor your project execution closely to ensure we remain on track and complete the project as per agreed project plan. Thank you for your time. My team and myself look forward to working very closely with your company in the days to come for your ISO certification project. Visit www.iso-certification.ph to get more information on our organization, or call us at +63 977 815 1204 to get started with your ISO certification project. Because when two progressive organizations like yours and ours get together, it generates a synergy for achieving excellence. Thank you.